All right, everything looks good. You know, considering I haven't streamed in almost a week, I'm surprisingly competent at this. Speaking of surprisingly competent streamers, look at all these people that are currently on the screen. This is Mistborn RPG, episode 5. Welcome, welcome. Let's go ahead and introduce some people, and let's start with our special guest for the week. Watch me literally point at him and then turn to look at him. Hey, Peachy, how's it going? Amazing! We coordinated so well. Like, Tux, take note. This is how you do it, bud.
What the fuck? This is my own personal private space.
It looks like, to me, you're looking at a wall, but to the viewers, it's like we're talking to each other like normal people.
Movie magic.
Weird.
Ooh.
I know. We're amazing.
It's crazy.
Hello.
Production value.
What can you tell us about yourself, Peachy Pixelate?
I once gutted a goat with the power of imagination.
You were in the movie
I have
Man
a
Who Stared at
bronze
Goats.
swimming certificate. That's about it. That's all the important things.
Let me ask you a question. Are you a Pokemon master?
No,
Okay.
I'm like level 7, man.
Fair.
I mean, you're in the game, though. You're in the game.
I'm in the game. I'm just not winning the game.
I mean,
I know
only one
of the
person
game.
can win
The game is around. I take part in the game that is around me, but we're losing. We're losing.
Only one person can win
battle.
Pokemon.
I believe that everybody just lost the game.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
No.
is it 1997?
No,
It
I will
is.
punch
It
you in the
is.
face, Wreckage.
So this will be
Yeah,
Wreckage's
high school
last
again.
week on the stream. Thank everyone here, Wreckage. Yeah. Where can people find you, Peachy? Because you're like a
you
cool
can
streamer
find
guy,
me.
right?
On that Twitch thing that you're on right now, Peachy Pixelate, number 8, not the letter 8. Okay. People try and type in the letter 8. It takes them a while to find it on the keyboard, but it's wrong. It is the number 8. And you should follow me if you like cookies.
Well, I mean, I love cookies.
I mean,
if
that
you
was a
hate-
good
no.
sell right there.
Basically, if you don't follow me, you love Nazis.
Oh, we were just
Well,
talking about how no one likes Nazis right before the stream.
Mhm.
That's just good branding right there, because I'm about to follow you right now. I don't want to like Nazis.
So you advertise. Just be a dick in front of a camera. It's great.
So, speaking of someone who's a dick in front of a camera, let's talk to Dr. Wreckage, who recently won 3 straight matches at Magic the Gathering online.
That's correct. Today on my stream, I went 3-0. We clinched it by beating a Tameo deck. Bant can't, motherfucker. If you would like to see more Magic the Gathering online, then you can follow me on Twitter, which Arthur has very professionally put below my head, or you could follow me directly on Twitch. And it's just Doctor. The abbreviation is Doctor. The word there. Nobody here is not now anymore a streamer. They weren't a streamer before. Not everybody here was streaming all the time on their own. They were often only streaming. Now everybody here is a streamer who streams on their own. So
There you
we're
go.
all
Okay,
in
yeah.
the club.
Those words. ended
That
up
was a
making
great
sense.
way to make things even more confusing than they had to be.
It ended up in a place that made sense.
It's about the journey, not the destination.
So speaking of someone whose characters often end up in places that are frankly confusing, let's talk to Tuxtradamus.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's an apt description of who I am and what I'm all about. Hey, everybody. Hope you're having a good night. I'm Tuxtradamus. I also do stuff like these lovely people at Twitch, Tuxtradamus, Twitter, Tuxtradamus. Yeah, we had to get him in masks yesterday. With some stuff happened, and that's what I'll.
Oh yeah,
what I'll-
stuff happened.
stuff
Kelsa watched it today. She's nodding. She's like, yeah, stuff happened.
and stuff happened, and yeah, we're gonna talk about next week, and we're gonna get that all figured out. And it's gonna be awesome because we're all awesome. So putting it all together obviously makes it awesome, right? That's just how math works.
That was so moving.
I would
Thank
segue
you.
into Kelsa being awesome, but you already said everyone was awesome, so there's no point. Kelsa, just go.
You could just reiterate it.
I mean, I also have a cat on my chest, so that's pretty awesome.
There you go.
You could have mentioned that. She needs love.
Immediately looks at the camera.
Oh, she's such a ham. Hi, I'm Kelsa. You can find me on Twitter at Kelsa or here on Twitch /KelsaDelphi, DELPHI, at the end of Kelsa, because that's how I roll. I am on a lot of other people's role-playing game shows. And I also occasionally stream random stuff, which has mostly been Overwatch. Yeah, well, there you go.
I have heard from good authority that heroes never die.
Heroes never die. No, the right. No, that is not my. I will not. I'm a Junkrat fan. I'm all Junkrat all day.
Junkrat's good.
Trash mouse. Trash mouse.
I can trash mouse with the best of them.
I'm all about that spider booty, to be honest.
I like other people being
Sure.
her.
I like it when good players play it. Yeah, I'm not one of those good
exactly.
players.
Yeah.
I'm not.
I'm not really a sniper, so I leave Spider Booty in more capable hands.
Sure.
Okay. I mean, that's the thing. I just can't work up the ability to badmouth Widowmaker. Just 3 Widowmaker attack strat destroys. Alright, I'm APGamingREAL. This is Mistborn. Because of the magic of stream delay between 15 and 30 seconds, you will already have seen that in chat I have placed the primer rules for this game. If this is your first time watching, you can be like, I want to download that preview and primer so I have some basic idea of what's happening. But we're also going to help Peachy make his character real quick. So, you know, you'll have some idea what's going on. Probably as good as
Play
anybody.
along.
Yeah. Last time we had an Indiana Jones adventure where we destroyed a torture temple and locked 2 men in a basement.
Yeah.
Forever. And then Daisy stabbed herself in the chest with a spike made of gold right through her heart.
I believe I've only taken one Man in the Iron Mask style prisoner.
Yeah, you took the second professor as well.
No, because he's dead. Because we
The
took the
second guy
spike
died.
out of his chest.
Oh, that's
So
right.
He's dead.
He's
Yeah.
super dead.
And technically, it was
Technically.
Friction that.
No, Brieger killed him. Brieger
No.
took it.
I killed him.
You killed him. Brieger killed himself.
I really feel like we don't need to like play of the game, the last game with who
No,
killed
let's,
who.
let's break this. Let's break this down, AP.
So as you can see,
We got Desha here. She pulls a spike out, and that's where he died. You see,
now
right
see,
there is where he
Brieger
died.
here made the classic mistake of moving before he was ready. You have to visualize and then execute. That's gonna cost him, Bob.
Yes, that's what happened last time.
Awesome. Perfect. So
And he's all caught up.
Good catch.
All you
Yeah.
didn't know.
I'm on board.
let's go ahead and talk about you, Peachy. I want to know more about Deadeye Johnson.
Deadeye Johnson is an 80-year-old missionary. No, he's a grizzled old mercenary. He talks mean, he acts mean, but really deep down he's got a heart of stone.
Fair.
Which is, of course, allomantically non-active. So
Of course.
Yeah, you wouldn't want a heart of gold because you can just, you know.
Exactly. Thinking.
So according to these traits here, you are not a nice person and you kill people for money.
Yeah. I mean, I know I'm supposed to roleplay someone slightly different to myself, but I thought, fuck it. I'm gonna be
That's the real job. And, until it's like streaming can get supplements.
Streaming is just for tax purposes.
Right. Of course. Wink, wink.
You're also a coin shot, so obviously cutthroat murderer, since you can push your bullets away from you faster to drill them into people at incredible speeds.
Basically, when I was told what I could pick and how to build my character, I think that was the first thing mentioned, and Wreckage just talked about stuff, and I did not listen because all I could think about was I can throw bullets even harder than my gun can.
That's true.
So wait, you had made up your mind, but you still made me describe all
We were having such a lovely time.
allomantically and ferrochemically. You made me describe all 16 metals you'd made up your mind.
Wow.
Okay.
That's intense.
There could have been something else.
I guess, who would choose anything other than steel?
I believe you were going to take the steel deflection stunt, but did you consider taking the stunt from regular Mistborn that allows you to push bullets at a faster rate for more damage?
So he actually doesn't want the bubble, but he wanted bullet push? But
Yeah.
that's not from regular Mistborn. What's the one from regular Mistborn?
Regular Mistborn is you can increase the speed of velocity of pieces of metal to do more damage.
Oh, well then he'll probably want that one instead of bullet push, because bullet push was more about circumventing armor.
Let's see here. Yeah, increased velocity. You may push objects up to 250 miles an hour and increase the damage they inflict by 1.
That sounds like me. I don't want a bubble. Why would I want a bubble?
Yeah, I mean, you just want to be able to fire your bullets close to the speed of sound in an age of gunpowder.
Yeah, pretty much. Right.
Exactly.
I'm going to equilibrium curve the bullet. Can we do that? Can I curve the bullet?
Well, so they
not
didn't
quite.
curve the bullet in equilibrium. They had gun kata in equilibrium. They curved the bullet in wanted. God.
Oh my God. Schooled.
True.
Bam. Gotcha.
I mean, none of those movies
hate
were
myself.
good, so they kind of meld into one.
I know, Wreckage. I know what you're going to say. 250 miles an hour isn't quite the speed of sound. It is, in fact, Mach 0.33. It's actually Mach 0.32 with 9 repeating.
I have been restricted to one push my anime glasses up, actually, an episode.
You're saving it for later then.
Well, no, I just used it now to correct him about movies.
Sure. Right, exactly.
Actually,
Is that one?
that's a wild trot.
I'll draw two card.
That's a wild draw 4. Allows you to draw 4 more cards.
Skip a turn.
Bye, boy. God, Uno anime is literally one of the greatest YouTube videos ever. It's so Yu-Gi-Oh.
All right, yeah, we're basically all agreeing that anime is crazy.
Yeah, let's go ahead and let's have Johnson meet up with the party, and then we'll do some scheming and some planning.
All right. Well, I think.
I mean, do you just put out like a Craigslist ad, like I'm a badass killer, hire me to murder people?
Man seeking man.
I think I call.
I mean, that was kind of how it worked for Peon's character, right?
I mean, no, she was related to you, Daisy. She went to school with you.
She was my school.
You guys met in a bar, and then you beat some guy up and punched him in the balls.
Yeah, that was a real bonding moment.
Yeah.
Never forget.
Yeah.
So I think Dixon calls everybody into the parlor.
Are there whorehouses in this world?
Yes.
Yes.
'Cause I'm probably in there.
Okay.
Sure.
You know.
We'll go
One
get
of the
you.
whores has seen my gun. And is probably just yapping off.
She's talking about how your gun is both very large and very small, and you could take it apart.
It's like, wow, it's so girthy, yet it fits anywhere. No joke. I'm describing.
Let's cut back over to you, Dixon.
I've remade my I've changed my mind about my hiring policy.
You're only going to hire people as sociopathic as you are. I think Johnson fits the bill.
Yeah. I mean, basically, that's been the policy so far.
I mean, am I sociopathic? Am I? I only have a
I feel
man
like the
locked in my
answer is
basement.
Definitely yes.
Yes. Yeah, okay, yeah. Yes.
Agree to that.
Before last week, I would have, or last episode, I would have
We did
argued.
manage to clean up the blood this time, right?
Yeah. You've also murdered a bunch of people, Dixon.
This time,
Everybody murdered everybody back then. It didn't make you a sociopath.
It just meant that a lot of people were sociopaths.
So I call everybody into the parlor. We have our team meeting. I say, Dasher, Daisy, Friction. Nice to see you all here. After our previous little escapade, I've had something weighing a bit heavy on my mind. We expected the Silverists to show up. We expected them to interfere with our little operation. We did not expect them to show up with a caravan of vehicles and a repeating gun. So I feel strongly that as opposed to a small number of fringe noble cultists, this group is actually rather large, rather financed, and well, a threat not only to our own power, but to Trumadil in general. And it's been a while since my name has been in the papers, so I've decided that we're going to nip this problem in the bud before it comes back to get us.
Can't Daryl just put your name in the papers and you want him to?
Yes, Miss Desha,
Actually, Desha, I think that what he's saying is that the heat's off us for a little while and doing some clandestine activity might not draw too much attention. It's a good moment for it.
Actually, you're both kind of on the right track. Daryl can put my name in the papers whenever I want, but without anything of substance, it doesn't really mean anything. However, local protector of the people.
But you're good at just making things up. Can't he just make something up?
So Friction crosses his arms and is like, Dixon, you realize part of this plan involves the wholesale slaughter of several nobles.
Why, I did notice that, Mr. Friction, yes.
I don't know if that's going to play over popular in the newspaper.
Well,
I happen to know a guy.
Yeah. I was just about to say, without Mr. Brigo, we're a little short-handed on the kills people side of the equation.
Well, that's just because you won't let me use my guns. Come on, Dix. Look, you don't have to worry about my help no more. Look at this. Right here. It means that I'm going to be fine.
Yeah, you're never going to... That's great. That's great. You're not in danger anymore, but I still haven't seen you hit the broadside of a barn, sister.
You ain't never looked.
So, first of all, the plan will be to frame this as me going after the actual Sliverist cult. So whether or not a couple of nobles die, they will be hated by the people when that comes out. We're going to round up a posse, drive them out of their holdings, wherever they are, and for that, we will need we'll need a ringer. You said you know a guy?
Yeah, there's this man that's been going around the local whorehouses talking about the size of his gun. At first I thought it was, his, but it's actually a gun.
You've been going to the local whorehouses?
I've been going to places near whorehouses, and several whores in the vicinity talk about it.
Okay.
Oh, don't
you jealous?
Break it up. Oh. I think
we need to talk about this later? I don't remember promising to be exclusive.
We don't need to talk about anything.
Okay.
You answered.
We're going to talk later. I feel it.
Oh. Anyway, well, that a man with a large gun sounds like exactly what we need. However, I can't exactly be seen heading down to the local whorehouses, so
send Daisy.
Daisy.
All right. I'll go.
Yeah. You all right? Why don't you take the Landau? And a bottle.
What's the catch? You never let me drive the Landau. Every time I suggest it, you tell me it's a bad idea.
Well, I think picking up our most esteemed colleague in a vehicle with perhaps a bottle of some fine watered down alcohol. I'm sure he doesn't have very much taste. Will make a good impression on our latest co-conspirator.
All right, then. I can do it.
Now, let me be clear, everybody. This is a mercenary we're talking about. We haven't met him yet. We don't know we can trust him. And the plan is for a completely legit operation. There's no reason for this man to hear anything about our less than legal activities. He may not be able to keep his mouth shut.
Sounds
All
like
right.
a good plan.
Sure.
All right. Now, Miss Desha, why don't you accompany Daisy to ensure that...
Actually, I need to talk to Desha.
Yes, that's right. You do. Well, Daisy...
I'll be totally fine on my own. I know where the whorehouses are.
Yes, I'm sure you do. Now, remember, sister, under no circumstances can you be disrobed.
Well, where's the fun in that? I mean, I'm here for a job. If I was going to have a situation where I was going to be disrobed, it would not be while I'm on the clock. Give me a little bit of credit,
I
bitch.
don't mean in a sexual sense, sister. I mean you have a hemalurgic spike in your chest, and if that got out, we would be ruined.
Well, of course. You had the tailor come by and make me this nice new jacket that very carefully hides any outline of it at all.
And an added bonus of hiding your sensibilities. Anyway, sounds like we're all set for this. Daisy, why don't you make our offer to the fine young gentleman with the large weapon?
All right, then. Come on, May.
Your dog jumps in the car.
Yep. We're gonna go for a ride.
Big ass
Come on,
mastiff.
We're gonna go for a ride. Come on. And then we zoom away.
Yeah, and we get to the like bad part of town where the streets become, dirt and gravel, and tumbleweeds go past as men and women in dirty clothing with bandanas covering the lower half of their face wander around with brown paper bags and guns.
Gangs of jazz tap artists
Nope,
dance around
that's not a
snapping their
thing.
fingers.
Get out.
This is a terrible, terrible part of town.
That is so thematic.
Johnson, what's the name of a whorehouse you'd be staying at?
Madame Beauregard's. I've heard it's got the cleanest whores.
It's true. It's true what they say.
Madame Beauregard's got the cleanest whores.
The slogan written underneath in shit.
So Daisy, as you pull up, I get the feeling that Daisy drives very fast, and when you're stopping on the gravel, the car slides for a couple extra feet with dust trailing behind it.
That sounds right.
And like some like old drunk with stringy white hair is like, "Rah! What are you driving, girl? Your dog looks stupid." He keeps walking behind the car.
Yeah, and like she gets out of the car and she like tells May to like stay with the Landau so that it doesn't get stolen while I go into the whorehouse.
Oh, the dog is definitely giving the old man eyes. Like, yeah.
Good dog. Yeah, I like ruffle her ears and say good dog, and I'll head into the whorehouse.
Yeah, inside is that familiar twang of a poorly tuned Western piano where all of the keys are somehow discordant as hell. and our good man, Deadeye Johnson, I think, is at the center of attention, doing something.
Actually, probably previously I was, but I'm currently got my feet up on a table. I'm sipping a creme de menthe, hat over my eyes, sort of leaning back in my chair. And no one is around me, but there are a few smash glasses.
I think Daisy walks up because you're fairly obvious, and so yeah, she's wearing she's dressed kind of like a tomboy. She's wearing, sturdy jeans, a button-up plaid shirt with suspenders, but now she has like a thick jacket over that, I guess. But it's like only buttoned at one button just across her tiny breasts, so that it hangs really weird, but it definitely covers up her spike. And she's wearing like a little page boy hat with very short hair, and she just saunters in, walks right up to Johnson. Says, "Pardon me, Mr. Johnson."
So I'll look up at you, tip my hat a bit.
"I heard some mighty fine things about your gun."
So why are you over? You don't look too much like a whore, miss.
"I'm not."
Hat goes back over my eyes, carry on sipping.
Correct.
"Listen. Now, you may, my name is Daisy Beaumont. You may have heard of my brother, Mr. Dixon Beaumont. We are up-and-coming nobles here in Trumadale, and, well, due to a tragic accident, one of our strong men has passed from this world, and we were hoping to hire a strong gun like yourself for a job of particular delicacy, you could say."
Okay, at the sound of hire, the hat goes back up.
Mhm.
Money?
Yeah, plenty of it. Of course, I can't get into the particulars, but if you like, my landau's parked outside and I can take you to the plantation. You can speak to my brother directly.
Miss, I've already gone through all the particulars I need to go through. I do up my fly and I stand up. And I pick up my massive weapon.
And then he holsters his gun.
Heyo!
Boom!
Yeah, she takes a look at that and like nods appraisingly. "If your use of that thing is half as impressive as it looks by itself, then we made the right decision."
Trying to not to get too innuendo here.
So
Go ham, it's fine.
No, we got to build up to that.
as the two of you head back outside, the old man is urinating on the bumper of your car.
Oh, Hick. Kill that mofo.
He just peed on a car.
Kill him. Kill him.
"Begging your pardon, sir, but that is my landau."
All right.
"Get away from my car." And my hand is on my gun on my hip.
I mean, I think he's just keeps, warmly a stream going.
"May sick him." Yeah.
This is savage. So, yeah, the dog hops out of the car and the guy goes running, but his pants are still down. And they're like, we don't have a Spartacus moment or a Game of Thrones moment, but we do see like water being sprayed everywhere, but there's no like actual D being displayed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's cut to some scheming and some planning, I think.
All right. So
I'm gonna go take a nap. Yeah. You guys got this.
All right. Yeah.
did we end up changing anything about this?
Nope.
Okay.
We wound up. What we changed was
how we wanted to think about doing it.
Anyway, so our goal is to what's the phrase that we want to use here? Our goal is to destroy the Silverists in a way that increases our public appeal. Sliverists. Sorry. Sliverists.
In a way that makes us look good.
Makes us look good. Everybody hates Sliverists.
Do we want to say destroy the Sliverists?
Defeat the Sliverists in a way that makes us look good.
That sounds good.
So Silverists are well known for being the Nazis, right?
So
Depends on who you ask.
it's kind of the opposite of that. They're a secret cult of nobles who believe that the old god was basically the one true god, even though he got totally murdered, and several other gods have replaced him over time. They believe that guy should still be obeyed because he was the god of nobles, and only the nobility follows him now. And yeah, they're kind of Nazi-ish. They're big on, like, class distinction, as long as, they're the ones with the class.
But when you say secret, people
it's not well
many people
known.
know about them?
Yeah, it's kind of like, we don't even have secret societies anymore for the most part because people are so intent on snowdening them. But yeah, they're like, what's that college movie, Skulls and Bones?
Oh yeah.
You have to be like a noble to even basically know about them, and nobles wouldn't talk about it to non-nobles.
Sure.
So you might know about it if you were a noble. You'd be like, oh, those crazy sliverists doing crazy sliver things. But they would never dare tell someone of the lower class. What are you, a peasant?
Filthy peasant. Of course I'm not going to tell you anything.
But yeah, they ran headlong into these guys. So what's the method here? How do you want to defeat these sliverists? And Peachy, feel free to jump in here with suggestions because this is you guys writing your own adventure.
So I guess it sounds like we're trying to find take them out and then frame them for something. Is what I got the point to be. There you are. Okay. So we're at what's our method? So is our method find them, kill them, and frame them?
Do we have to frame them for anything? They're Sliverists. We just have to expose them.
I mean, I guess expose them could be our goal here. Cat,
our method will just be.
Okay.
Should our method just be exposure? Is since our main goal is to defeat them in a way that makes us look good.
Are you trying to frame them for something?
I'm going to say no about the exposure thing just because we're hiring a mercenary to fight. So exposure is the sort of thing that you do completely through talking and certain.
We're gonna murder a foe.
We're just gonna go full on.
Well, we know they have like military supplies too, so we kind of do want to end up raiding that place, right? We want to find them and defeat them publicly.
I guess what's a good one or two words to kind of say find them, beat them up, and then deal with that. Violent. What's your method? Like one or two words, right?
I'm having trouble with the wording as well.
What's the method? Violence.
Violence.
Yeah, I mean that's a very simple way of stating this.
Sure.
Yep.
What's standing in your way to keep you from achieving this violencing?
They have some pretty high-tech guns.
Their resources.
The thing standing in your way is their violence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally.
Their violence.
Let's just
Their
keep
resources.
it simple.
And then the fact that they're also hidden because we don't really know them, right? Well, I guess we don't have like an idea as to who they all are. We can probably say our in and what we have to work with is like we have a
one or two slivers
Yeah.
that we know of.
their resources and a main location. We'll say
I assume they have a hierarchy, do they?
probably yeah.
Oh, they're nobles. Of course they have a hierarchy.
Of course they have a hierarchy.
Of course, they have a hierarchy.
They know
Right.
exactly who they have to kill to move up in the world.
Well, surely the higher up the hierarchy chart, the bigger the splash.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
So what is our in?
So I'm going to come out and say that the man that I've iron masked actually knew more than he said. And since he doesn't now know what's going on, I promise him release if he tells me what he knows. Don't give it to him, but he told me what he knows, which is where they are. Cave or something. I don't know. Whatever. I'll let Arthur decide what it is and where it is. We
got info from what was his name?
his name is Professor Bartavius Kearney.
Dr. Kearney spilled the beans. Okay, so what do we have to work with? And this is like things that we know or have outside of our characters. So we could say we have we know that they only use a certain type of weapon, so we can try to defend against that, or like things like that. Like just these are our advantages that we know we have. Come up with any to think of.
I think maybe so Dr. Kearney spilled the beans, but maybe what we have is we're already friends with some of the people who are on the periphery of this group. We have friends that are friends of some of the people that
we have some connections that we can use.
Yeah.
Cool.
I also want to say that, if you want to put the kibosh on this, Arthur, let me know. But I want to say that Daryl is in on it, and he's going to be there taking pictures, but he's going to be using his Conjure abilities to just not actually be there, be stealthy and taking pictures.
I mean, that's not exactly how Conjure work.
Nope.
They're not chameleons.
If they're a noble hierarchy, do they think they're untouchable? Are they arrogant?
Oh yeah, of course.
Oh yeah,
Is there something you want to throw in here?
Is that something we can exploit?
yeah, that's cool. They think they think that they're untouchable. So I guess maybe we should say something like they're complacent because they don't think they can be touched. Yeah. Cool.
You have their complacency on your side to go with your violence.
Complacency.
We're just going to take abstract concepts and use them as pieces on the playing board.
Yeah.
Their complacency.
Let's get something physical that we can have.
Sure. Maybe Kearney gave us Kearney gave us the password to get into one of their things.
So I think what Kearney gave you overall is that these guys meet on trains. They meet in the first class lounges together. They all get seats on the same car, and then they just turn the entire place into a sliverous cult room.
That's kind of nifty.
Yeah.
So maybe.
And so they're I'm just going on an afternoon jaunt to Weathering, when it's really we're gonna drink some blood and recite the ancient mantra.
So we have we have the next train that this is gonna happen on. We have a ticket, or he had a ticket, and so we have the date and time or whatever.
Yep.
Ticket to the next cult train meeting.
We have a ticket to the next cult train.
All aboard the cult train.
What don't you know?
Cult train runs on Holgrain.
We don't know the membership.
Specifics about membership.
Peachy, if you're looking to have your character killed, by the way, this is the part of the show where you talk a lot about what you don't know and what could go wrong.
Yeah, what we don't know is we're putting our own obstacles in our own way.
Well, I
Don't
mean,
go
my
overboard.
character doesn't know who the fuck these people are.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
He's probably complacent.
He's
we
like,
could-
I'm down with it.
we could always-
Worship whoever you
always
want, man.
It always get weird. Like, we don't know whose side Johnson's really on.
Since it's on the train, I want to double back and change the Daryl Hart thing. I want to say that Daryl Hart is also we've gotten him a ticket on the train so he can show up and take pictures when we're done.
Okay.
So he's on the train in order to report it.
Okay.
I can
So
just see
hopefully
the
we-
headlines now. Daryl Hart shot in head, thrown off of train. Absolutely 100% dead.
Oh.
Even if he was a Chondra, subtitle.
No one's. No.
Eyewitnesses say not even a conjure could survive that wound.
Of course, secretly, the eyewitness is actually Daryl Hart. Is actually so.
Definitely not alive anymore. Definitely not alive.
I mean, there's always another secret.
What could go wrong here?
Because
Derail train.
Oh,
Mm.
God.
Yep.
Wow, Wreckage, it's like you want to play the game on hard mode today.
I want us to derail a train, and I want to be
Over a gorge.
I want to be so lucky that my coat like catches me on the railings of the right, because it's a gorge. So I just get caught there, and the train just goes barreling into the gorge.
Your family and all your hirelings go over the edge, and you watch tears in your
Oh,
eyes.
Okay, that's okay.
All of my family has gold 6 now, so it doesn't fucking matter.
I have a gold. Well, I guess I'm all of your family, but I was gonna say that I.
Hey,
think Jessica only
Jessica's a
has
member
gold
of the
4.
family.
Jessica, you've got what? Gold 4? Gold
3.
3. Oh no, gold 3. She might die from that.
Oh, she'd certainly still be dead.
Yeah.
All
From
right,
an
so
exploding train going into a gorge?
Did we have a long breather?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we can do that after the plan, and then
Yeah. How much does this spike hold?
100.
100. Okay.
Okay. What comes next? So
Do I have? Do I have to spend a prop on that?
No, not for this.
Okay.
Because
I
you
told-
spent it on the hemalurgic spike, which is
Gotcha.
it.
I told you to stop making Hamilton references, Tux.
What?
Nothing. You'll get it in a second.
No.
It's
It's the words on the page, Arthur. I can't not make the reference.
So what happens next is if we successfully expose the sliverists, and it turns out they're nobles, and they are dead or publicly disgraced, then actually that leaves us an opening to go after their stuff.
Okay, so yeah, we take advantage of the opening that we create to further hurt them.
Well, to take their shit, like they're dead or disgraced. Let's take what they were doing, because nobles have things, right? They own businesses, or
End of
they
the
own.
opening to steal their business / stuff.
Okay. What's your first objective? What's the first thing you're gonna do in this plan?
Oh, did you say we've got a way on the train?
Yes,
Yeah, you've got
we have
tickets.
like the ticket, so we know which train it's going to be. So
I have a rail pass for what that's worth.
Oh, we know which train, so we need to get on the train.
So we'll buy
Yeah.
some. So step 1, go to the train station. Step 2, buy tickets. Step 3, board train. Step 4, ride train. Step 5, go to front of train.
No, one
Step
of the
6,
things we have
Same.
is tickets on this train for all of us, including Daryl Hart. That is one of the things that we have.
Maybe step 1 should, in this case, either be board the train or you've already boarded the train and it's something else.
Let me try working this backwards, you guys. Let me try orchestrating our
sure.
plan of action. Like I
Murder.
was thinking we were talking about stuff. So our like end goal is like murder some or all of these sliverists that are meeting on this train, right?
Yeah.
They are all dead. All sliverists on the train are dead or disgraced. That's like the last goal.
Sure.
then, or technically you can just copy paste defeat slivers in a way that make us look good. So that's like our end goal. So the goal, in order for us to do that, we need to know who those slivers are.
Do we?
So
They're all in the front. They're all in the front car.
We
They're
know
in
that
a car. You don't know which.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
They're in a car.
discover which car the meeting is in.
Which car is the meeting in? Got it.
So that's-
Identify and gain access to the car that the meeting is in.
Yeah, and that might be 2 separate.
Is it going to be
points.
2 steps? Identify the car, murder everyone. It's going to be a really.
That's the
Boom.
whole thing. It's the whole thing.
All right.
Identify the car murder.
God, I hope it's the last one. I hope it's the last car so we can just pull the pin and let it.
How exactly are you going to murder everyone in a way that makes you look good?
So by the very dint of them being sliverists, us killing them is good public publicity. So
I mean, is that actually true? I feel like you're making assumptions here.
I mean, the thing
Especially
is,
looking at Arthur's face.
to some
Maybe
extent,
meditating a little bit.
the fact that he's planning for it makes it kind of true. We'll see how actually true it becomes, but you know, it's your plan. I'm just gonna mess with it.
A murder town.
I mean, he's just gonna mess with it. But the only thing that could possibly go wrong is the train being derailed because it's the only.
Do we want to do anything else on the train?
I mean, I want to walk along the roof of a moving train, but does that
Sure.
I mean, yes.
That's
I mean,
totally
that's
gonna be
all I
part of
want out of this entire thing.
I want to. I want to enjoy a nice first class train dinner.
it. Okay.
As an objective, is there anything else we want to do on the train?
I mean, do
That's
we want to?
objective.
I mean, do we know when this meeting is taking place as well? Because that might be
I
important.
don't
Well, we
think
have
so.
the
When, where, like, when is this meeting taking place? Where is specifically is this meeting taking place?
well, I guess
Go to
we
that
have
place.
we know the
Kill
train
everybody.
and like it's like we know that it's like the 2:15 to Clock Town or whatever. So like we know it's this train leaving at this time.
Right.
I guess on the journey we don't know when/where it's taking place, but we know it's on this
Right.
train that is leaving from Tremiddle Station at this time.
So I suggest objective 1, find where on the train it is taking place. Objective 2,
Are we just gonna be?
when?
Are we gonna be? Is our first objective gonna be get on the train, or are we
No.
already gonna be on the
We're
train?
already on the train.
Okay.
Already on the train. That's taken care of. Unless Arthur's going to put the kibosh on that. I think
So-
it's
Yeah, you can start on the train.
Find
Yeah, I
out.
think
Find
it's
out more
useless
about the
to-
meeting.
find out more about the meeting. Final step, kill everybody at the meeting.
Would you be able to
Actually,
find out?
Do you want the
the-
final step to be spin this so that we look good, and the step
So
before?
the final step is
kill
that
everybody?
Daryl Hart walks in on them all dead in their cult pad. And I'm like, my goodness, I was just here to see my business friend, Mr. So-and-so. And I walked in on this horrible situation and I was just forced to kill them all with my bodyguard, Mr. Deadeye Johnson. And Miss Dasher here. I mean, what harmony-loving man wouldn't kill a group of no good,
So-
rotten sliverists?
Do we like this? Find out more about the meeting. Identify the car and gain access. Take the Sliverist to Murder Town. Spin the story in our favor.
Yeah.
Cool. That was only 20.
Right.
Would they have information on more members of Silverist
Good night.
with them?
Yeah,
Almost
that was-
certainly.
To find out who other people.
That'd be a decent side goal.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
can always take a short rest and modify this later. I think this is pretty solid for right now.
are you guys paying the DLC costs for the extra side quests? I would really love you guys to go to this castle that's marked on your map, but you can't
Well,
go to the
the-
Warden's
Remember
Keep.
something about a power plant?
The castle's already there, but like so we see the guy who's like, we're gonna stop at this castle, but I can't let you out until
You don't have
And-
tickets to get off here.
you don't have tickets to
Yeah,
get off
that's
That's not how
right, keeps
tickets
going.
work, but your tickets don't let you get off here.
here. And then once we pay for the DLC, then he's like, oh, let me see your ticket. Oh yeah, you can get off here now.
And in fact, we'll also just be sitting here waiting for you if you want to come back to go back to the main sandbox game. And
We come by all the time, so if you need us, we'll be there.
So I think the first scene is Johnson's ticket getting punched in the second class bunks with all of you there. They probably don't call it second class. It's like called like travelers or something. Yeah, and
There's first class, travelers class, and scum class.
Second, first class.
I called it standing room for third class citizens.
Ouch.
It's literally what it is. But yeah, these are, I mean, it's nice. There's only about 10 people in one of these cars. You know, it's bunk bed, double rooms, all up and down. There are 3 of these cars. There's a dining car attached to the front and a equipment car for like carrying all your luggage attached to the back of it. And you know, there's first class in front of you and standing rooms behind you. And the ticket man's like, all right, take your seats now. You look like a particularly big fella here. You might want to belt yourself in. And you get that like train whistle and like the jerking of the train engine starting as you pull out of the fine town of Trumadil on the, 11:30 to Elendil. And, there are servants walking in the halls every few minutes, checking in on you, seeing if you want them to bring you anything from the dining car for a small fee. But what's the plan here now?
Well, I think the first step was really I'm gonna have to go to first class. Right. Regardless of where they are having their meeting on the train, there is no noble who believes that nobles are a superior entity that is going to take second or third class.
Mm-hmm.
Very true.
Does sound reasonable. So you're heading forward. You're
Yep.
just like ducking out of your room and heading forward. All right. Immediately in front of you on the train cars is a dining car. Inside, several nobles are already getting drunk with several of the second classmen. The bartender is slinging drinks nearly continuously and keeping up a steady burble.
Perfect. Drunk nobles.
At the
Loose lips.
At the far end, towards the first class area, there's a Koloss blooded, so an enormous gray-skinned. Basically, it's The Rock from 10 years ago, wearing a very tiny, like, bowler hat that does not at all match his head, openly displaying several revolvers hanging from his coat. Just looking imposing, basically bouncing people from entering the first class section. When you enter, the bartender's like, sir, what can I get you?
Martini, please.
A martini. Very well. I assume you want it stirred, not shaken. Only a savage gets it shaken. Get the ice chips all in it.
However you prefer to make it, barkeep. I trust your judgment.
All right. Well, then I'm going to put some rum in here. Yeah.
Is there room at the table where the drunk nobles are talking with the
Kelsa dying right now?
She doesn't like rum martinis, I'm guessing.
You don't put rum in a martini.
Literally, there are martinis called rum martinis.
They're not real martinis.
I mean, martini experts would disagree with you.
Whatever.
But
There's
party
also,
martini.
there's also pizza that has vegetables on it, but we don't call that pizza.
Right?
Wow, savage.
Agree to disagree.
Is
All
there-
pizza should have nothing but vegetables and some fruit.
I mean, Hawaiian ham and pineapple is very popular.
I mean, I have Hawaiian without the ham because
Yeah,
pineapple is
word.
the best thing to happen to bread and cheese.
and
I-
tomatoes.
I don't disagree
Cheese
with
is
that.
a
at
kind
all.
of meat, right?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
I mean, they're both proteins. It depends on what level something needs to be meat, because cheese is made out of bacteria, which is a life form. But I don't know.
If you want to talk,
I'm
no.
liking where you're going.
While
with
you
that,
have this
kid.
discussion with the bartender, he's just like,
Is there room at the table with the drunk guys who are
they're at the bar, not at any specific table. So if you want to slide down next to them, yeah.
All right, I want to listen into the conversation while I wait for my martini to be made.
Yeah, they don't let you listen in. One of them is immediately like, "Oh, don't I know you?"
You might. I'm Mr. Beaumont of True Medill fame.
Nope, I don't know you.
Okay.
I thought you looked familiar.
Well, my face has been in the papers several times, so probably just a passing fancy.
So several of the nobles just start laughing like, ha 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 ha, face in the papers. So, so what did you say your name was? Beaumont?
Yes,
Ah,
Dixon Beaumont.
Yep, yeah. And they're all looking at each other and giving each other the like, I've never heard of these nobles look kind of thing, like automatically pegging you as a second classer. Are you enjoying your journey, Mr. Beaumont?
Yes, heading back for Ellendale to take care of some business. It's the destination that matters in this particular instance. But it seems like you fellas are having a good time.
They all laugh. And one of them steps forward and is like, well, we weren't having such a great time until you showed up, Mr. Beaumont. You're a ceaseless library of entertainment.
My very presence. Well, that's fascinating. I do lack the idea of living up to that little moniker, though. Perhaps I could interest you gentlemen in a game of Sheldry.
They're all immediately like, no, no. So one of them literally laughs out loud. It's like, the peasants game.
Yes, the peasants game where fortunes are won and lost. Surely,
One of them just like takes a cigarette and is like, "Didn't Kelsier play that in the Words of Remembrance?" Ugh.
Why, yes, he did. I mean, if you're afraid to put a little bit of money on the table and win or lose.
And you feel a tap on your arm, and the bartender's just like, Mr. Beaumont, perhaps you'd like to have your drink down the bar.
I'm quite comfortable here, sir.
Damn.
And yeah, you get that feeling that the barkeep keeps looking at the bouncer.
Damn it! You know what we should have put down as things that we had was a nice dress for Daisy.
You have one of
Martinis
those.
without rum in them.
We don't actually need to
Not-
put that.
Martinis.
Technically, I don't actually.
Do tell.
Not one that works with a spike.
Yeah.
Ah,
If you'll notice on my character sheet, none of my props are noble clothing.
that's true enough. We have had you show up at a party with a
We
nice dress.
Yes,
in the
and we
past.
established that in our setup that you bought me a nice dress for that occasion.
Yeah.
Oh,
because
so the dress
all
ceases to exist, right? Yeah.
Right, all of her clothing,
Well, you already wore it once. You can't wear it again.
Of
and
course.
plus it had like this really low décolleté that the spike is just gonna be sitting right there.
So I'm curious what Daisy, Desha, and Johnson are doing now that Dixon is magikarping in the dining room.
We probably. I assume we came in with him.
I mean, did
is
you?
It possible? Well, I didn't think we did.
Oh,
I was
okay.
like, is it possible for me to have a dress even if I have to roll like
I
resources?
mean, yeah. If
Did
you
you want
want
a
to,
horse dress from the horse?
God.
No, that's gonna have a low cut décolleté again. This is no. I needed to.
I
be
mean, it's probably
high
also
voice.
covered in herpes.
Yeah, it's just
Look,
not a good
mean,
time.
everything is covered in herpes these days. I mean, if you're gonna be that picky, you're just gonna walk around naked.
I feel like you can roll resources for this for sure. It's going to
Okay.
be difficulty too.
All right.
I feel like there's also a joke there with walking around naked but still being covered in herpes.
Get out. Get out.
Um,
Get
I don't.
out.
Can I take Everybody Loves Me as a bonus die for this roll of resources?
Yes.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the only one. I wasn't gonna push for anything else.
There we go.
Yep.
Fair force.
Yeah. You get a very nice dress.
Get a nurge.
Yeah. That dress will stay
Can
around
that-
for a little while.
Can that nudge be that the tailor that fitted it to me did not see my hermeneutical spike?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sweet.
Maybe you paid them to look the other way. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
sure.
what's the plan now, Daisy? You, Desha, and Johnson are doing what?
We probably we're probably still sitting in our little sitting room. I don't ride trains, so I don't know. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you know what? You can hear two servants outside. One of them's like, "What a bore! I've already heard he's completely drunk and trying to win some money off the nobles by playing card games."
That literally happened 30 seconds ago.
I know.
Thank
I
you
know.
so much. That was A+. A fucking plus.
And then the servant notices you guys watching him and keeps walking.
What?
I assume that is your brother they are speaking of.
What's wrong with card games?
Nothing, but if he's getting drunk, I wonder if he's forgotten what we're doing here.
As long as you don't forget to pay me.
I don't think.
All right, I'll go take a spin by the parlor car. I'm sure there'll be plenty of gents willing to speak to me, and I won't mention at all that I'm related to that buffoon of a brother I call.
Hold on a second. I haven't even gotten a chance to make a roll yet, and everybody is
I know.
shitting on me for this attempt. I should at least fail a charm or spirit roll before I start getting the entire train hating me.
No one's hating.
I mean, Daisy can't hit the broadside of a barn. What are you complaining about?
I mean, you can't.
Mhm.
Should we all go in? Or is there something else that the two of us should do to help with the mission?
This is first class dining, right?
So the first and second class have a mixed dining car. It's the one that attaches their sections together.
So there wouldn't be any problem getting in there.
Yeah, you guys have all paid tickets. The question is whether you can stay there.
Is there a parlor car further into first class?
Yes, it's called the entertainment car. It's one past and then the individual, lordship cars.
Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe going into the entertainment car is probably Daisy's plan. And she's going to turn to Desha and Johnson and say, well, maybe you two can take a look further down the train and see if there's any likely spots for this meeting to take place.
Okay, we can do that.
Has this got one of those old-fashioned lift-up windows?
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna have a little look out the window.
Yeah, the train started to pick up speed now, and it's heading into the basin. So you're heading towards a miles-long canyon, but on the far side of that canyon, you can see that there's lush green grasslands. It's too far to see the actual city of Elendil, but yeah, you're going from scrubby Badlands towards Box Canyon and beautiful beyond. And the wind is picking up and your hair is all wisping around when you're moving at the amazingly fast speed of 40 miles an hour.
I'm mostly looking down the train to see if there's any difference in the carriages.
Oh yeah, the first class carriages look amazing, and they'll have really nice paint jobs. The ones in the back, they all have good paint jobs, not great, but they don't have as much filigree. They don't have as much stylism. They aren't poorly maintained. They just aren't made to look fancy. They're just solid iron box cars.
So does the track go around corners and stuff? Or is it just-
For now you're on a straightaway. Once you get past the canyon, it'll be a little bit more wavy.
Okay.
Hmm.
Be able to get a better look at the carriages if we go around the corner.
Okay. What's the plan with you, Desha?
So are we? How many cars are there like behind us?
Let's see here. You are in the front second class car, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, including a caboose.
It's a lot.
Wait, a caboose is a thing? What?
Yep. Caboose.
I just know it as a euphemism for booty.
It's also the terminology for a last car on a train.
That's actually where.
Really?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's where the term came from.
That's because it's your butt.
This is top quality
It's the butt of the train.
Yeah.
Did you not know that?
that?
He didn't know it.
Weird.
He's
I
only
mean-
ever heard caboose is a.
See, alloy of law.
So
Teaching
the
people,
caboose is
learning
also
things.
where the train crew work out of.
Broadening minds.
broadening.
They stick them at the end so that. They
I mean,
can
I
work
don't go on
things.
many steam trains these days.
It's,
I know
that's a
I
mistake.
should-
Fair point.
I thought that was the only way to get around in Britain.
Not on a steam train.
Wow. They just put steam trains through the
No, we
subways
just
now.
queue
None
to
of
get
those elec-
everywhere.
None of those electric
Okay.
trains or anything.
I think like Desha like pokes her head out and like looks back, and looks and comes back in. Do you think it would be a good idea for me to check back there, or should we keep moving forward?
Well, I'm not certain that you're going to be able to get much further forward than I will, so it couldn't hurt for you to take a look out to the back, just in case.
Okay, I will do that. I will try not to impersonate someone working because that did not work so well last time.
It sounds like a good plan then.
I will just threaten them if I need to get something from them.
That's what you're best at, Daisha.
That's true.
I'm like nodding in agreement.
Yeah,
That's how things work. Violence solves literally.
especially because I think I haven't described her yet, but yeah, Desh is also a Kolos born, so she's like this huge gray-skinned woman with a giant cleaver on her back.
Mm-hmm.
Probably pretty decent at intimidating people.
And just so we're clear, Arthur,
Mhm.
Daisy's guns are strapped to her thighs underneath her dress. And
Of course. So we're clear.
because,
Right, sure.
I mean, you know.
We need to be able to describe her lifting up her skirt and pulling out her thigh holster.
Of course.
I mean, that was one
As
of
you
the
do,
best parts
as
of-
is tradition, as is tradition.
as is tradition.
As
Yeah,
is tradition.
exactly.
For the greater good.
I just want to make sure you can't be like, I don't know if you got your gun on you there when it gets really rough. So just putting that
I mean,
out
you know how to play role-playing games. So, yeah.
there.
You've dealt with a
so-
GM before.
That's weird. I know, right? I'm gonna spend 2 stress for a flashback here. No,
Of course. Wow, blades again, huh?
I have an instinct that says
Like, I
always carry.
literally- I'm literally playing like three games of Blades a week. So if I'm not making Blades references, probably I'm broken.
The funny thing is that in the circles I travel, I literally cannot go like 3 posts without Blades being mentioned, and I have never seen or played Blades in the Dark in any capacity or shape. So it's incessantly endless, and also I've never done it.
Well,
when you
there's
said
this
you've
thing
never
you can
played, Kelsa
do.
made the same face as when someone mentioned rum in a martini.
So
The
here,
level of disgust.
That's not that bad.
here's how you play Blades, Wreckage. You go to Steam Powered and you purchase a game called Dishonored, and then you play it.
Fair.
And then you've played
Yeah.
Blades.
well, you play that, and then immediately after that, watch Peaky Blinders.
Dishonored was a very, very fun game, and I am so excited for Dishonored 2.
It looks
Yes.
so
So while we're talking about Dishonored 2, I feel like we get the FF8, and this is a reference, cutscene where we're like watching Kelsa Daisy go forward in the train while Johnson and Desha are sticking their heads out, looking in different directions. And Daisy, when you enter, I think it's fairly clear to you that in the dining car, several people are attempting to make buffoonery of your brother. They haven't quite moved in to wreck him yet, but
It's okay. He's lucky. I'm sure that he'll be totally fine. So I'm going to move past the dining car without acknowledging him into the entertainment car.
when you attempt to do so, the bouncer is just basically like, "Miss, can I see your ticket?"
I will show him my rail pass.
I don't know that the rail pass lets you get on the first class.
It doesn't specify that, but I mean...
So yeah, no, you know what happens? He like looks at it and he's like, "This rail pass is completely unpunched. We'll get a conductor for you real quick." And he looks kind of put off, like, like, oh god, some noble's just wandering around. And then he's like, "Wait, I never saw you go past me."
Well, I thought you would have noticed someone as pretty as myself.
Yeah, that's my
I'm
point.
offended. Can I bluff him here?
Yeah, I mean, you should do that very quickly before he starts
Yeah,
being like,
that's
"Wait
what I'm
a
saying.
second."
Like I'm charming him here. Like you're offending me that you are saying that you didn't see me. I remember you.
The
Like,
failure
can I-
point here would definitely be he's like, "Did you get on the train since we left? Like, are you cowboy thief?"
Mm-hmm. No, I'm totally cool with this. So I'm gonna roll charm.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Everybody loves me. I'm stubborn because I definitely have come by this way before, and I can't believe you would not believe me on this.
Okay.
How dare you?
Yeah.
Right.
And I also kind of want to pull adventurous into this because in my heart, I know I'm lying. And the fact that we're doing this is all a big adventure.
I will accept that.
This is Rule Lawyer the game. This is awesome.
Yeah.
It's not Rule Lawyer the game. It's Bullshit the game.
I mean, you have chosen things for your character, and you attempt to use those in the best way you can.
All right,
Welcome.
It's begging the game.
Yeah. We're looking for paired threes or better here.
Luckomancer, let's do it.
There you go.
Yep.
Yes! I got a pair of threes. I forgot to put SD, but it's there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And a pair of sixes.
2 nudges, bam.
2 nudges.
2 whole nudgers.
Such nudgery.
Can I use my nudges to say that he apologizes and gets the conductor to punch my ticket to say that it's first class?
Yeah. I mean, so he's like, "Oh, I just came on duty. All right. Well, this is a bother." And he calls the bartender over, who gets out his ticket punch, and he's like, ticket!"
Yeah.
And then the bartender goes back over in the background. We still see Dixon. Maybe he's got like a deck of cards out and is doing like weird card things with them. And the rest of the nobles are looking at him like, "What a fucking moron."
Right?
All right. Well, fuck these assholes.
Do we want to cut to you trying to convince them to play for stakes, like maybe a couple houses?
Yeah. So the way that I want to do this, what I'm picking up from them is they think that I'm faux noble, right? They think
I mean, yeah, you came in through the second class door, and you're
so
you're like,
I-
"You may have heard of me. I'm in the newspaper."
So what I want to well, they were the ones who said they noticed me. So that wasn't as nearly arrogant as you said it was. But it's pretty arrogant.
And say where they noticed you.
So the way that I would like to counteract that is I would like to put on the table a check that is of an amount of money that proves them wrong. Because frankly, at this point in the game, I actually am probably richer than a lot of these guys. Factories, mansions.
You have one factory and one mansion before you
Alright.
oversell that.
Only
I
one
mean-
mansion. Ugh.
You're upper middle class.
One mansion and one factory is upper middle class.
This is a game about nobles and peasants. So you're part of the rapidly disappearing middle class.
The world's getting flatter, man.
I resent that.
Yeah, I feel like if you want to play games with nobles and get them to the table, you're gonna have to put at least resources 4 down.
Okay.
Like, it's got to be significant enough that they would get out of bed in the morning to take a look at this check.
I like the way you put that. All right, so resources roll then.
Yeah.
All right, I will call on my resources things. Wealthy landowner.
Yep.
I feel that is quite obvious.
Civilized for sure.
Yep. In this instance, I feel like conniving applies, but I'll leave that up to you.
I feel like conniving will apply when you attempt to cheat them. I don't know that it applies so much in trying to attract them to take your money.
Now, Arthur, I never cheat at card games. I literally just change the way that luck works around.
I mean,
That's not cheating.
I don't stack the deck. I don't got
Luck.
cards hidden in my sleeve.
Yeah, manipulation of luck is not cheating. That's what are you implying there?
we're gonna have to talk to the Karma-melian about this.
So it's not fair, but it's not the actual act of cheating.
Wow, you're trying so hard to justify this, Wreckage. I think that maybe you might want to accept.
Yeah, alrighty then. And of course I'm a luckomancer. So
What, you're just gonna say Luckomancer?
yeah, so this is I need 4s, right?
Yeah.
So I will re-roll my 2 3s and my 1s.
Okay. Make sure to go through your...
Oh.
Still
all right.
2 3s. All right. If you want to fail this, you can make another action real quick after they're like, ha! That amount?
If I want to fail this, I have another choice. Hold on a second. Oh, Arthur's dead.
Yes.
Oh no.
There's
Uh-oh.
something loose in my neighborhood.
What?
Is it a ghost?
Are you calling the Ghostbusters?
Well, there's something strange, and we don't know what.
Hmm.
So,
Who are we gonna call?
I'm calling the cops
I'm calling Inspector Gadget.
right now.
Movie Inspector Gadget or cartoon Inspector Gadget?
Cartoon Inspector Gadget.
Cartoon Inspector Gadget has way better powers.
I mean, I'd go for Penny
Definitely.
personally, but
I
or
mean,
just a
if
book.
you want to get shit done, call Penny.
Right, exactly.
But you don't call Penny. You call Inspector Gadget, and Penny comes with. She's part of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
package.
that is
Yeah.
true. I'll give you
Mhm.
that.
So if I'm building Inspector Gadget, Penny, and Brain in Mutants and Masterminds, am I playing as Penny and Inspector Gadget and Brain are like my minions? Like,
You can do that any way you want. So,
all right, I'm gonna play as Brain.
so the thing is, because of Mutants and Masterminds, you literally can play as if you want to have a group of people, you can play as a group of people. You can choose to be any one of that group because the way that Mutants and Masterminds works, whatever your minions' powers are, they still need you still need to have the power points to represent that. So it doesn't matter if you're Inspector Gadget or Penny, even though Inspector Gadget obviously needs to spend more
I
power
might
points.
need to upgrade to minions.
Um,
I spin that video game like.
Pikmin, Pokemon.
Pikmin. Pikmin was good.
Real-time
my God,
strategy
if you
game.
come to Pokemon, I can just like trap people in my pocket dimension. That would be legit.
I mean, you could have a power that traps
I
people in
mean-
your pocket dimension, but it would sort of come off of theme a little bit.
I
Not
digitize
if I
them.
throw a Pokeball at them.
Yes. Oh man. Dirk is a little bit of the best.
People keep saying that. I'm like, it's just me, just dorky. It's dorky me. It's basically me.
You play it
20
real well.
years ago.
You play it real well.
And if it works, you got to go with what works. So,
I mean, so while
Does
Arthur's
anybody know what Arthur was talking about, by the way? When he
um,
said
His words were, "There's something loose in my neighborhood."
No, not about that. When he said, because obviously we know that's happening.
Right.
What I mean is when he said, if you choose to fail this, you can take another action. But can I choose not to fail this?
I don't think you can choose not to fail this because you can only. I mean, can you spam luck? Are you allowed to re-roll again?
I mean, I don't think it's just cost based. I was always under the assumption that I could only do the number of dice that I could do in a single roll.
In a single roll. That's what I was saying. Is I don't think you can re-roll those dice again. So I think.
I mean, technically, I didn't. We took a long breather, and I didn't increase anything. Maybe I just increased my Luckomancy.
Yeah, he said we took a long breather, so I increased my Ferrochemy stuff. So I feel like you guys can too.
We took a long breather, and I got a hemorrhagical spike. So
yeah,
I figured that counts.
I bumped up mine. I didn't do an advancement since we didn't talk about it, but I bumped up my Ferrochemy stuff to the thing. And Arthur's back.
Hey, Arthur.
You survived.
Did you bust the ghost?
Trash cans.
What?
Animals and trash cans.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right. Sorry about that unfortunate interruption of service.
So you were just saying
that's awesome.
That if I chose to fail this, I could take another action. But I didn't realize I had a choice.
We talked about this during the rules changing episode.
Okay.
You can take the 3 nudges, turn them into another action. You'll take complications based on your failure, but you'll get another action before they're like, and piss off.
Oh, okay. I get it. What he's saying is that those 3 nudges to
catch a beat.
To make it like you don't take any consequences from this failure, but you still fail, or you can take a bunch of consequences and catch a beat and try again.
I see what you're saying. So I narratively, does that mean that they'll just be like, I'm still not interested? It won't.
They might not be interested in a check for money. They might be interested in something else, like one of those mansions you mentioned.
Okay. I mean, yeah, I'll use the 3 nudges to not take any consequences here, not do another roll, but just I'll see what their response is.
Okay, yeah. None of them are like, throw this man out of this carriage immediately. They do seem surprised at the amount of money you're willing to put down, and one of them says, Lord Tikil, do you see the size of the brass on this one? Why, he's practically a pewter burner. And everyone's like, ha ha ha, amazing joke. Amazing joke.
Our ha's don't have H's on them.
And another one's like, perhaps he'd do better speaking with Lord McKinley. And everyone laughs over that. Basically, they're just mocking you for the fact that you'd put cash on the table rather than, something else. They don't really seem interested in gambling you at all at this point, but they're not going to dismiss you outright from their presence. You're providing them with quality entertainment.
All right.
It's not often someone intentionally throws himself in front of them to get, shit on.
I see. Are they getting progressively drunker too?
Not in the 5-minute period. They haven't been all like, yes, we shall toss back shots.
Shots.
In the background, I think we see Desha being admitted into the entertainment car.
Okay. Why don't we follow that? We'll come back here later, and over
Daisy.
time, I will interact with these people.
Daisy being admitted.
Daisy. Why don't we follow Daisy into the or one of the others?
Or we can cut over to Desha and what she's doing, but I'm pretty sure that Desha is not going into the entertainment.
I like the idea of we keep cutting back in this episode to me trying to get information out of these drunk nobles.
And you fail every single time.
And then it's like the whole plan plays out, and I'm still just here, trying to get information out of these drunk nobles.
And you're just drunk.
Rich.
And
Look at how rich I am.
I'm so fabulous.
I'm so noble.
Also, I'm taking down these guys' names so that when I'm Lord Governor, they all have accidents.
Of course. So there's new wave jazz swing band in the entertainment car.
Oh, awesome.
Basically playing all of the jazz versions of the Ruby Season 3 soundtrack. Just to shout that out real quick. Yeah, there's like some really upbeat jazz music being played. And there are several women and men here all enjoying the presence. I mean, you immediately recognize one of them as Lord Peter McKinley, also known as Rattlin' Pete.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Rattling Pete.
Wait a minute.
Rattlin'
Oh,
Pete.
that fucker.
The snake in the grass, Rattling Pete McKinley.
You snake in the grass.
Yeah,
Rattling Pete McKinley.
That hyena laughing motherfucker.
I noticed the reference you made earlier, but I didn't assume that he would be on the train as well.
Yes, he's here.
Oh God, I hope he's a sliverous so we can.
That yellow belly.
No, wait, I don't hope he's a sliverous. He's got powers.
I'm gonna front end that by reminding you that he wasn't a noble when Carson met him. So,
Oh, that's right. So he's probably not a sliverous because he wouldn't actually be admitted into the grand.
he's new money, you know.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that I keep getting accused of.
You're sideways money?
You were like, I was noble, then I sold my title, and now I want to be noble again.
I didn't sell my title.
You left Elendil. That's, I mean,
Same thing.
So, I don't want to talk to him. In fact, I kind of hope he doesn't recognize me.
I mean, when you say that, he immediately recognizes you, but doesn't make any attempt to talk to you.
Of
He just
course.
kind of gives you the up nod and then goes back to swirling some sort of orange wine and leaning in towards a slightly younger, prettier girl.
Younger and prettier than
I know.
Daisy.
Damn.
You know all the right buttons to push.
Yeah.
So Daisy is gonna to go in and to order, is gonna start schmoozing with anybody other than McKinley. Like, is there like a group of like 3 or 4 nobles that she can like kind of wander into,
Yeah, towards your side of the car, basically like the back of the car. There's some nobles in a group there, far enough away that they could talk without disturbing the jazz performance, and also so that their speech won't be overpowered by it. And they seem to be talking about the state of affairs with the power plant in Trumadil. And one of them just like nods to you and is like, "My lady, I don't believe I saw you earlier. Might I introduce myself?" And he like stands up, and all of the men stand up as well, and bow. And he's like, "I am Lord Seth Cranston."
Well, it's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Cranston. My name is Daisy Beaumont.
I don't believe that I have heard of you or had the acquaintance before. Have we perchance met?
Well, I'm afraid I'm new to the area from Ellendale. Recently moved out to join my brother in Trumadil. I haven't had a chance to make all the rounds in the social circles yet, so I'm afraid it may not be that we've been acquainted.
I see. Perhaps you'd like to join us. I
Well,
don't suppose you know anything about what's happening with the power plant. Simply a terrible mess of mismanagement there, from what I understand. And one of the men stands up and is like, Now, I've been telling you, it's actually a brilliant plan."
Well, I'm afraid I don't have many opinions about the power plant. Perhaps you can tell me a little bit more and I can form one.
I mean, yeah, like, let's see here. I feel like this is going to be a contest between the two of you, and they're going to try to convince you that each side is going to try to convince you of their argument. In fact, most of them support disbanding the power plant project. And so, yeah, Lord Seth Cranston, backed by his 3 followers, are basically like tag teaming in on each other. Like, yes, but you also need to understand that, yeah, they're mansplaining the situation to you for sure.
Totally.
So I'm gonna give them a boost die because he's got like 2 backup singers helping him here. And I think it's gonna probably be like charm versus spirit, I would think. Their charm versus your spirit, unless you're getting involved and like actively speaking against it.
Fill time, Arthur. Fill time.
By the way,
Yeah.
have you considered heading to youtube.com/APGamingREAL and watching the other 7 previous episodes of this show, each with its own unique guest star?
If you send me a top hat and a cane, I have a cane. I need a top hat though. I'll start doing this all the time.
Wizard.
I've got this great plan. All right. Some of you might know that I'm not a particular fan of Pathfinder anymore. But
Okay.
there's a variation of the Pathfinder rules called... Please stop doing that, Tux. It's called Maximum X Crawl, and it is an alternate world Earth current where Ronald Reagan is Emperor of the American Empire. And the most popular show on TV is a show called Maximum X Crawl, which is a reality show that matches with American Ninja, where teams of warriors and, magic users battle in small squads to get through a series of tests. It's a lot like, what's that show with Olmec, Legend of the Hidden Temple? It's like that, but for adults and with actual blood and murder.
It also sounds a little bit like.
And it's like, if
Slay
you complete
Industries.
this room, you get a new car and a staff of magic missiles. All hail Emperor Ronald.
Tux, you're muted.
Why am I muted? Fuck. This is Smash TV, the role playing game.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
just wanted to talk about that. Might be a thing that might happen in the future. So Daisy, let's cut back to you. Are you
Okay.
actively defending against this?
No.
All right.
I want them both to try to convince me of their ways.
Okay, so our good friend, Lord Seth Cranston, is going to roll against your spirit. So let's do this. He's got domineering, and I think that's going to be about it.
I think well-educated is my favor here. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
I definitely know things about things. I don't really have an opinion, so stubborn's not going to come in there. And I'm not trying to convince them of anything, so I don't think everybody loves me is going to come in here. So I think it's just well.
I don't know. I think everybody loves me. Could play in because they might not be as willing to throw down.
Okay.
Paired 4s with 3 nudges.
All right, let's see what happens. Did I hit enter?
But you haven't said.
I didn't. I don't know what's going on.
You haven't said.
Luckomancer?
There we go.
It's not not
Not
working.
Do the thing.
Yeah.
Have you considered going to
Wait.
the Twitter pages listed
All right, there it goes.
underneath everyone's names and following them?
Shit. That's a pair of 4s.
Yeah.
Yes, but you
But I
get
don't have any
dominated on nudges. Yeah, they plant a pretty convincing argument that the power plant has to be shut down because it infringes on the rights of workers they don't need. Coin shots up in this business and lurchers making a mess out of metals. It's gonna tank commodity prices. It's all noble talk that's all about like this is our way of doing things. This is how we make money, and this power plant will destroy our way of life.
This is our land.
So basically what I'm hearing them say is actually this power plant is going to work really, really well, and it's going to be fantastic for everyone who's not a noble.
Right, but since you want to be a noble, it's terrible for you.
Right, exactly. No, totally. I get you. So yeah, yeah. Does the other guy make an argument as well, or
Yeah, it's a very weak argument. It's just like
okay.
progression, the future. We should give back to the little people.
Think
Mhm.
outside the box.
Yeah, we should think outside the box.
Well, I mean, actually, kind of being on their side is kind of good for me, in the fact that that means that they may trust me a little bit more. So, you know, and Daisy is going to. I did not write down that guy's name. What was his name again?
Seth Cranston.
Seth Cranston.
Yeah, so let's cut back to Desha and Johnson. The train has finished going through the canyon and is now entering a series of turns where it'll go first right then left. So you'll be able to get a look at all of the cars.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to spy down towards the front of the train.
Okay.
Cool.
As you get that front train look, there's an engine, a coal car, and then the engineer's car. There are 3 first-class cars, but all of the windows are like black tinted, so you can't see inside. And then there's the entertainment car and dining car.
Okay.
And you
How
can see,
heavily
yeah,
tinted?
like we can actually see the entertainment car. It does that thing that hand cam movies do, where it like zooms in on Daisy, and we can, the windows got a little bit of a reflection, but we can still see her through it.
Sure.
Talking to Cranston.
How tinted are these windows? Are they painted black or are they just darkly tinted?
It's like
If, for instance, I was right next to the window, could I see through?
it's hard to tell from here. It kind of looks like a one-way mirror from this side, kind of blotching, right? Like they don't want you looking in, but they want the people inside to be able to look out because they paid for this nice, fancy carriage.
I mean, in my experience, people pay for people to look in to see how wealthy they are. But this is a different train, obviously.
This is the different train.
In Britain, that's how our steam trains work. We don't even have cars. We just have one-way mirrored steam trains the other way.
I mean, people pay for their privacy.
Someday
right?
you'll get those cars.
Is there anything different about any of those 3 first-class cars?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and make a wits roll to give it a look over?
Right.
You actually, wow, holy shit! I was like, well, you might be good at this, and then I forgot that you're Deadeye, and you're amazing at this.
So, how am I rolling?
Well, make a case for if you have any trades that you'd like to throw in here.
Well, I mean, I can see my house from here, so I can see the smallest thing from far. Like I could see an ant on a shovel, like in the next town.
Yeah. So you got 6 dice.
You get, you could maybe get another couple other. You can do more than one trait.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think Deadeye is going to work in your favor.
Would my Deadeye come in here? Because
I feel like it would work against you if you called on it.
60-0.
No, but the way he phrased it is he's only got one eye, which means he doesn't have to close an eye when he's aiming anymore.
Yeah.
He's like a blind person who like blind people get super hearing. Well, he's blind in one eye, and now he gets
like Daredevil with one eye.
He's not Daredevil.
He's
not
also
Daredevil.
abrasive, so I could probably wear the tinted windows so much. Right, so
I think 6 dice is going to be good.
You have
If you put it
sandpaper vision.
SD at the end, it'll sort them. You're looking to get paired 3s.
So I'm rolling 66.
Yep.
SD.
And I want a pair of 3s.
Yep, or higher.
Sure thing.
Pair of 3s.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
The
He didn't
middle
even say
car.
Necromancer.
The middle car has special like doors. You get like a flash of them, and then we do the like Sherlock Holmes. You're like taking the door apart in your mind with blueprints. You can see that these doors are made for like there's special locks on them that the other cars on this train don't have. And they're like reinforced. And oh, you know why you notice them? Because they're also meant to be anti-coin shot, anti-lurcher. Like
Oh.
They're reinforced with aluminum so that you can't push on the door and open them.
Interesting.
Because aluminum is non-allomantically reactive. Yeah. Like, you wouldn't be able to, like, push a coin through the door or force the door off the hinges.
And this was the one. Did you say it was the
This
one?
is
in
the
middle
middle
of the
car
street?
of the 3 fancy man cars.
What was your character's name again, Adam?
Desha.
Dasher. My bad. So I pull my head back in. So, when
Did you see anything with your special eyes?
So like I lift up my hat and like my other eye is just this raisin in its socket. It's disgusting. I only got the one eye, miss.
Did you see anything with your special eye?
Sir. Miss.
Miss.
Correct.
Why do people keep making that mistake?
I was drinking heavily not 14 hours ago.
Fair. Very fair.
You also kind of look like a man.
Do you have any new information?
Seems that one of those carts up there is a bit highly fortified.
All right. You go that way, away from me, and tell that to the Beaumonts. I will go back and see if I can get anything from the servants.
Hope I get to talk to that pretty one, not that gibbering idiot. As I walk off. You guys don't know which is which.
That is a good point.
That's true.
I'll start to make my way then to the other cart.
Yeah. I feel like this is a good time for you and Dixon to meet up.
All right. I would like to do a thing.
Yes. Tell me more.
I would like to make a spirit roll.
What would you like to do it for?
I would like to say that with the previous round of drinks and me burning a little bit of not burning, but tapping a little bit of stored luck, the bartender accidentally misplaced the alcohol content of their drinks by a couple percentage points, and they're more drunk than they had planned to be at this point.
Let's see here. What's your chromium rating for ferrochenny?
I just increased it during the last long breather, so it would now be 5.
I would be okay if you were willing to burn 50 chromium charges to have something like that happen without a roll.
Done.
All right, yeah. Yeah, the bar, as you enter, Johnson, you see the bartender, like, fumbling with the drinks, and he just keeps spilling more alcohol than he should into them, and he's like, I'm sorry, gentlemen. I feel like the train's a little bumpier than normal, and the guys are like, no, it's fine, good man. I'll take an extra splash of brandy in my brandy.
Good. Brandy with brandy. Man's drink.
Right?
So I walk in and I see Dixon, right?
You've seen this before. You've seen rich people holding court with someone who wants to pretend to be rich.
He's only got one mansion and one.
Right,
exactly.
exactly.
I mean, he doesn't even own a fleet of cars.
We just used a fleet of cars that I owned.
I mean,
last
you
episode.
you had to requisition those cars.
Oh, sure.
Right. You borrowed them from the business account. It
Are
was-
you really going to be like, these Jeeps? I own a bunch of Jeeps. They're very hardy.
Speaking of those Jeeps, have you looked into purchasing a Desha model for yourself? They're quite lovely.
They're all the rage in Trumadille, where the rugged frontiersman needs a 4-wheel drive. The new invention out of Beaumont's Automobiles. That doesn't work.
They wouldn't
Is
call
it
it a four-wheel
walnut
drive. They'd
beer
probably call it a
paneling?
friction drive.
Yeah. Friction gets to name whatever he wants, whatever he wants.
Yeah, Johnson. So this is the conversation you come in on. They're talking about cars.
My factory has just produced the latest model in all-terrain vehicle, perfect for Trumadill. We just went out on an adventure in the Badlands for 3 or 4 days. Absolutely lovely.
How do these cars run? Did you say?
They're standard internal
They're
combustion
gasoline.
engine.
Oh, okay.
They don't run on
petroleum.
magic.
Just I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
That's reasonable.
Possible, right?
I mean, you're capable of
Probably a magic
swallowing.
car somewhere, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
I mean, you swallow alcohol and turn the steel placed into it into flying deadly shrapnel. So, yeah, it's reasonable to assume that there might be magic cars.
Yeah, he literally just got through talking about how an electric plant is run by magic in this setting. So I don't.
Well, it's run by magic people. They just turn giant magnet wheels. Very reasonable. It completely obeys the laws of
Makes sense.
physics.
Totally. It's fine.
I mean, other than conservation of energy.
I mean, the energy is conserved. It's just conserved in the spiritual realm. Get wrecked.
Uh-huh.
Correct.
Is it the spiritual realm that the magic comes from?
Yeah.
Dumb.
You want to talk about this? So the
So
shape
much
of
more.
the shape of the molecules of the metallic atoms, right, is a gateway through which spiritual energy leaks when you burn it.
What?
And with that, I think it's fine to go to break.
Yeah. So Johnson walks in. Here's to talk about cars. Maybe I feel like Johnson's the kind of guy who might have like a hip flask that he just takes a drink from while everybody else is drinking champagne.
Well, he has a penchant for creme de menthe.
Ah, of course. So maybe
course.
maybe the last thing before the break is asking the bartender for a creme de mint. And he's like looking at Dixon, and maybe he's like, "Why isn't that guy as fancy as this crazy Deadeye over here?" Get a creme de mint, loser. But that's his look, not what he's saying out loud. He would never openly insult you like that.
If you can't tell, all of my Western references are from like Red Dead Redemption, Gun on PS2, Back to the Future 3.
Classic. It's exactly like Back to the Future 3. I'm just putting that out there.
Yeah, we need to steal this train car to get back to the future.
Yep.
Mhm.
I mean, you can
Really
just
bring
head to
burn
the future
multicolored
by
logs, so
burning a
you
lot
can
of
create
cadmium,
and stuff.
right?
So here's what I wonder.
Well, the future's really easy to get to. You just
Yeah.
sit, you just wait.
That's true. He's
We're
not
in the
wrong.
future now.
So
Now-
here's my question about the future of Mistborn. In the super far future of Mistborn, right? When they have MRI machines and 3D printers, can a Khandra swallow a 3D printed skeleton of someone and change into them?
They would still need to study them.
Okay, yeah.
The skeleton is only part of it. They also have to
And
analyze.
part
it.
Hey,
of it is
Jeff,
actually
you know that printer you got?
Yeah, I think
Oh.
they
part of it
mentioned.
is actually the process of eating their muscles teaches the Khandra how to make the muscles in that configuration.
Oh.
All right. Well, we'll be on break for about 7 minutes. Then we'll be back, and there'll be more. So stick around. Ba, 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 ba.
Bum, 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 bum.